Hello everyone and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Today we're going to be hauling a reservoir tank. It weighs about 22,000 pounds, so it's not exactly the heaviest load. We're using a International Lone Star again today. Reason is because I didn't, Viper's 389, I could not get it to work on the 1.37 beta. So, reason this one, I changed it up from the last time. The last time was a sleeper cab and all that. Jesus, this shit is loud. It's not gonna be loud for you, but... would you quit hammering over there? Thank you. What are you doing over there, dude? Anyway, so it's a day cab. It's actually black. It kind of looks kind of blue. It's a black metallic. Kind of reminds me of the color of the Envoy we used to have. It's like a metallic graphite gray, really weird color. Sometimes it'll look blue, sometimes it'll look green. It's a really interesting color. Anyway, I'm getting distracted already. Real quick, I'll have the mods listed in the side like always, and also down in the description. But I cannot for the life of me think of what the name of it is. Let's get inside the cab here. Also, we'll go ahead and fire it up here. We'll roll those windows up, that way we can actually hear ourselves talk. There we go. I'm using a sound mod. I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. I'll put it up on the screen, but it changes the sounds, so like the engine sounds and all that. It's the first one that supports the F mod. So the F mod sound pack or whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure what to call it to be honest, but changes like the air horn sound and stuff like that. Just don't use the little dinky horn. I think I saw somewhere in the Steam Workshop that someone made a mod that replaces all the horns. So this one and this one with an air horn sound. I gotta find that and get that installed. But alright. Let's go ahead, and I didn't even see how long is this going to take us. I know we're going to... oh, you know what? I'm not 100% sure where we're going to. It is to... let's check the map. No, world map. We are going to... Tin Simon. That's where it was. I'm like, there was one to Phoenix, but I think that would be too short. So, took the one to Sam Simon. I guess I could have just paused it and it says right there. Oh well. Alrighty. Go ahead and put her in gear. We'll turn off the parking brake first. Put her in gear here. And let's get her going. Well, let's hope I don't have any issues getting out of this like I did last time. I'm gonna go very wide. And hopefully that's wide enough. I'm also going to go wide out here too.
Turn left.
That should do her. Yeah, that should do her if I cut it. Sorry, Ford Flex. Don't mind me. There we go. I just noticed the radio clock is actually the correct time in game. That's cool. Didn't notice that before. We have a half a tank. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and stop here at the BP and get gas. Okay, is it the first one? Okay, I can go to either one. Okay, let's not get stuck in the gas station this time. What the fuck?
Turn right.
It had me cut through. Oh, you're shitting. Oh, you are fucking kidding me. Oh, I'm so pissed off.
Turn right.
About that. You wouldn't believe. Jesus. $307. Holy shit. For gas. Price of diesel's not 302 right now. It's like dirt cheap, just like the rest of the price of gas is. The price of gas here in Ohio is down to like $1.40 something average. I paid $2 a gallon because my car requires 93 octane. So I had to put 93 in it, and instead of paying $3.50, $3.30 something a gallon like I normally do, it was literally $2 a gallon. Which I ain't gonna complain, not at all. But oh, if you look over on the side, we got the most valuable things we could ever have right there sitting on the dashboard. Like, there's probably could have paid for the gas with that, just taking that inside to the store clerk and said here, and would have covered the tab. Oh, brakes are a bit more sensitive than I thought they were. Oh, look at the Vic. It's got the chrome lipped steelies on it. Ooh, that is a medical. I think that sign means medical marijuana dispensary, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think that's what that means. Does it say? Nope, doesn't say. Let's try not to kill anyone. Well, I've got my list here, that way I don't go off on a tangent and talk about random shit. So like I mentioned before, the new ATS sound mod that I have in, don't remember what the name of it. Ooh, train? No, we're not going that way, so we won't see the train. Well, we'll see the train, but don't have to deal with the train. We have that in, didn't really, what's an Amtrak?
Turn right.
That was some frame skipping for some reason. Don't know what that's... Something's causing that. I need to narrow it down. I don't know if it's a traffic mod, maybe? That's also a really old-ass Dodge van that's decked out as a Spectrum truck. Definitely don't use those. Okay. Get on here on the highway, get up to speed. I don't like how the speed limit gradually goes up, like 35, yet this is a 25-mile-an-hour curve, technically. So we're tap the brakes, try not to flip our shit over, which it shouldn't. I don't think it's that top-heavy. Okay. And it says speed limit's 45 right now. There's no way in fucking hell the speed limit would be 45 on this road. It's a 3-lane highway.
Keep left.
Why is it doing that? That's weird. Might also be this version of ATS. I didn't even think of that. Anyway, let's see here. Oh, shit. Looking down. Go ahead and we'll get up to 60. Are we at 60? Yeah, we're at 60. So we'll go ahead and set our cruise control between 60 and 65. Should have got over, so in case anyone was coming down the on-ramp. Let's see. I'm so out of sync. It's been a week since I've recorded anything, and I'm recording this on Friday. You probably won't see it till Monday, because my internet has been absolute dog shit the last week and a half. They just cannot keep up with the demand right now with everyone being at home working. Oh shit, don't flip over. That was sketchy. I didn't even hit the brakes. That was stupid of me. Not a professional truck driver, as you could tell. I think last time I proved that when it took me literally almost 20 minutes to try to pull into the spot where I needed to drop off the trailer, and also got stuck in the gas station for 10 minutes or so. Now I don't remember what I was talking about before then. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you should see this Monday if all goes well and my internet doesn't completely shit itself and like go out completely. I could call them. They can't do anything about it. It's just they don't have the bandwidth to deal with the demand that they have right now. And where I live out in the middle of nowhere, so they're a locally owned internet service provider. So it's not like, a big company like Spectrum, Comcast, Verizon Fios. I'm trying to think of a couple other ones. Don't know Charter, but Charter's Spectrum now, I think, too, so yeah, but it's a little locally owned one, and I'm pretty sure where they go through, it's just basically they have multiple connections from one of the big providers, and then they use radio antennas to transmit out here in the middle of nowhere, so we can pick up internet. And before, the internet speed was fine. Like we had a giant fight with them about January, I think, right before all this shit started. Why is it frame skipping like that? That's weird.
Continue straight.
I don't know if it's coming across in the video or not. That's weird. Why are we stopping? And also, is that the retarder kicking in, or is that the engine brake? Let's find out. That is the engine brake. I don't have automatic engine brake turned on. Oh shit. Sorry guys. Yeah, that was a shit show. But yeah, internet's been shit. Can't get anything, like, unless you're ordering through Amazon, and that's about it. Like, I've needed to do rear brakes on my car, and I've got to look on eBay. Ooh, we're doing like 5 over right now. Resume. There we go. Resume. Couldn't get the kit. I found a kit that included front and rear brake rotors, ceramic pads all the way around, for like $80, which was dirt cheap because O'Reilly's and AutoZone wanted literally $50 per brake rotor, and these are Detroit axle parts, and I've used Detroit axle parts before, and they're really good quality for the price. They're not super expensive, I wanted to put drilled and slotted rotors on it, but drilled and slotted rotors don't make a lot of sense for city use, especially since most of my driving's highway-ish, average like 60, 65 mile an hour for like 30 miles both ways, so 60 miles a day. They probably wouldn't perform the best from what I've done research wise. Just wouldn't be a good option, so I'm just gonna get standard rotors. Why did that Acura sound like it had a big ass diesel engine in it? That was weird. But yeah, the rotors, I went to order them, and it was, even though they're coming from Michigan, and I live in Ohio, Detroit, Michigan, and Ohio, it's not that fucking far. There was a 2-week wait on them, and I'm like, I can't wait 2 weeks. I'm literally, the one back brake on the passenger side was literally grinding on the rotor. It was down to bare metal. If I have the pad, I'll put a picture up on the screen. I can't remember if I still have it or if I threw them out. But, I mean, it had nothing left. It was down to the steel plate, the steel backing plate, and that was it. I also haven't been paying attention to the GPS. Hopefully we weren't supposed to get off anywhere. Then, so I did that last Saturday, so it would have been, last Saturday. I'm trying to think of how to word this because you're watching it, Monday. So not this past Saturday, Saturday before that. And then we also fixed the Crown Vic. The Vic had this weird issue since we bought it, where you would go to start it, and if you turn the key, it would crank and crank and crank and crank, and then it would fire. And we couldn't figure out what it was. Finally, after a little bit of research and hooking a OBD2 reader up to it. It was doing a P1633 code, I think is what it was, which is low always power to the PCM, the computer
Use
for the car.
right lane, then turn right.
Okay, we'll get off here. Ooh, frame rate. Why is
Turn
it
right.
doing that? I know there was some Windows updates that broke shit.
Keep left.
I can't keep left. I guess we're going this way. Oh, this is good.
Recalculating.
Alright. So it looks like we're gonna have to flip a bitch somewhere up here. Good? Yeah, good. So yeah, I was starting this weird PCM low always voltage or something like that. Actually, we're gonna stay in this lane because we're gonna exit right up here.
Use the right lane, and take the exit on the right.
Turns out there's a wire that goes in the
Take the
PCM
exit on the
that
right.
is connected pretty much directly to the battery. Still got a fuse for it,
Take
but
the left turn ahead.
it's so the PCM has power, so it doesn't forget everything. Because when the PCM loses
Turn
power,
left.
it forgets fuel trim, shift points, you know, air fuel ratio, all that. It forgets all that. So basically, every time we were shutting the car off, it was like we were disconnecting the battery and resetting the computer every time. So for the last year and a half almost, we literally have been having the car hasn't been running right, or like it's supposed to, because it didn't know, didn't have a stored fuel trim or anything like that.
Use the
You
left
know,
lane,
it ran,
then
but
turn left.
so what we had to do. Why did that
Turn
Chevy
left.
Avalanche have a Trailblazer front end? Okay. Anyway, we had to remove the wiring harness that goes into the PCM. This is where it got sketchy. Because if we cut the wrong wire, we were screwed. Cut a wire off of it, and I just smacked my microphone stand. Sorry about that. And then, what the fuck am I supposed to do now?
Keep left.
I can't. How am I supposed to? How? This is broken, and I think I'm gonna have to be on legit. It's gonna take me back the way I came. Oh, we're just gonna squeeze through here. Hopefully not hit anything. Oh, we're gonna hit that. How did we not hit that? Oh well. So yeah, we had to basically cut a wire off the PCM, and what we did is we just took, I think it was 12 gauge wire, and splice connected it onto it with the end-to-end splicer, and connected it directly to the battery, and lo and behold, the car now runs great because it's basically got information on how to run the car and run the motor efficiently and all that. What's gonna get over? We'll wait. Anyway, so now it was really weird because I drove it for the first time the other day since we did that, and I walked out and I turned the key and it fired right up. Now you could get it to basically, oh fuck. Oh no. I think this is why that road was closed. Hopefully I can squeeze past here. That truck is literally split in half almost. Holy shit. Wow. Never seen that one before. Hopefully I'm going the right way. I have no clue. So anyway, you could go out, and if you would turn the key and let the car sit for about 20 seconds, you could turn the key and it would fire right up. But basically what it was is every time you turn the key off, the car lost power, PCM lost power. When you would go to turn the key, it would engage the starter, but the computer wasn't awake yet, quote unquote, to actually tell the fuel pump how much fuel to put in and the injectors and spark plugs and all that. It literally had the PCM. It was almost like the PCM was going out, which thank God it wasn't that, because that's what I thought it was at first. Did some more looking and found out this is a common issue on Fords, Mercurys, especially the Crown Vic, the Taurus, and the Freestar minivan, I think, was another one that was missing, or listed. Why is it doing that? I wonder if it's the Mirror mod, the realistic field of view. I bet it is, because I think there's... this is the one that has some weird... Okay, let's go ahead and get over. Has some weirdness with sound mod, so I didn't even think of that. I bet that's what it is, because it only does it when I look at the mirrors. The frame rate drops. The big mirrors, I mean, it doesn't seem to be doing anything with the little hood mirrors, because I'm getting a solid 60 FPS right now. But if I look down at the look over at the big mirrors, it tends to... No, that time it didn't. I don't know. I've done a lot of messing around with my computer because I've got nothing but time. And I've redone the way the fans are in it. So what I've done is, instead of exhausting out the back, because the computer's up against the wall, I have it exhausting through the front now, so it's pulling fresh air from the back of the computer through the case, through this my CPU cooler, which is a Hyper 212 Evo, so pretty beefy cooler. I call my computer ghetto rig, because some of the shit it has 2 power supplies. Don't even have I have a power supply jumper that's plugged into a separate power supply, and there's a main power supply inside the computer that runs the motherboard and all the hard drives, and then I literally have a separate PSU for the graphics card. Only reason I did this is because, like, 6 months ago, my EVGA 500 watt power supply literally almost caught fire. I mean, it grounded out, got dust in the wires, grounded out, it did something, but it literally melted wires all the way up from the very end of a Molex connector all the way up, which is weird because I wasn't even using the Molex connector, so I don't know how that happened. But yeah, it's got 2 power supplies. It's got the side panel is angle grinded out because the CPU cooler is too tall. So it's got the top of the CPU cooler sticking out the side of it. And then I use electrical tape to seal it off so it's still airtight, or as airtight as you can get it. It needs a complete revamp, and within the next couple months or so it's going to get either a complete rebuild or just a new build altogether. I haven't decided yet, but it's getting up there age-wise. You know, it's got an FX 6300 in it. You know, that's an old-ass AMD 6-core. You know, it's 6-core, 6-thread, depending on where you look. I'm not going to get into that, though. And an RX 560. Which the 560, I'm not going to complain. The 560 does great. I'm pretty sure I've got a major CPU bottleneck. So I think what I've kind of been toying around with is just going with a upgrade to a Ryzen 5 2600. Either the 2600 or the 2600X or whatever it is. But one of the things that saved this processor from the computer being pretty much useless is I've got it overclocked from 3.5 gigahertz to 4.5. So it's got a...
Keep left.
Wait, keep left? Okay, I'm going straight. Damn it. Why'd you do that? I don't like the arrows. Ooh, Jesus. Telling me to go the opposite direction. Makes no sense. But yeah, they basically it's got a rig for a reason. It's like I said, the thing that saves me is one of the reasons why it's got 2 power supplies is because I have the graphics card overclocked like a shit ton. Like it's got 2000 megahertz overclock on the memory and a 400 megahertz overclock on the it runs at 1400 megahertz on the core and 2000 megahertz on the memory, which I think stock is like 1150 and 1150. I think. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, but so that keeps it from, you know, completely being useless. And that 1 gigahertz overclock on the processor is what really keeps it going. I updated Windows and it's still doing that weird stutter thing. I updated Windows and I'm wondering if it's a Windows update. I don't know. I've updated too many things at one time to narrow it down. That's my fault. What else I got? Trying to think here.
Continue straight.
Yeah, I've run out of stuff to talk about on my list, so now I get to ramble about whatever. This is when shit gets weird. Real quick, we'll go ahead and see how much further we have. Ooh, try not to go off the road. Or into the other lane, I should say. We only have an hour left, so... Ooh, there's some cows over there. Are those horses? Those are horses. I think they were horses. I don't know. It looked like Red did, so... I think I'm getting very close to finishing the Red Dead story mode. Ooh, that was a big frame stutter. Yeah, I'm getting very close to finishing the Red Dead story mode, so I think I might start recording that again. I would love to live stream it right now, but I'd love to live stream ATS because there's, you know, just chilling and listening to music. We're driving around right now, basically clearing my head. I've done that in real life the last couple of days, just going out and driving. But yeah, stupid internet will not cooperate enough for me to... Oh shit. Why are we doing like 45 mile an hour? I was gonna go around him, but big ass Volvo right next to us. Ooh, I need a thumbnail. Shit. I always forget that part. Technically I have one from the start of it. No, I should be okay with that. I'll take one when we get to the destination, unless we happen to come across like a monument or a landmark. That looks cool. I'll take one. But I think I finally figured out how to time these. Let's see here. Yeah, I finally figured out how to time them so they're not an hour and 20 minutes like the last one. Which... Oh shit. You know, like I said, I'm the idiot that would drive through the gas station. I'm the idiot that would, because the GPS told me to. I'd be the idiot driving to a lake if the GPS told me to, evidently. Especially if it's 2 a.m. like it is right now. I'm the idiot driving in-game. It's 9:22. And... I'm driving with no headlights on. Speaking of headlights, I saw when I was in town the other night, it was a Mustang. It wasn't even a GT. It was like it was like the late 90s.
Then take the exit on the right.
Okay. It was like a late 90s, early 2000s Ford Mustang. It wasn't even a GT or anything. It was a white Mustang, and it had pink headlights. It had pink headlight bulbs, and
turn right.
It had no light output at all. Like, it was pitch black out. You could see the car's headlights, and that was pretty much it. Like, there was nothing Like, the car wasn't lighting up the roadway out in front of it. It was, I don't know why you would do that. And then the other day I saw a car with blue headlights, which, by the way, in the state of Ohio is illegal because it can be considered emergency lights. At least that's what the trooper that pulled over my dad several years ago told him, because he had, it was white LEDs, but it was a little bit on the bluish side, I'd say. And he had a shit fit about that. Told him he had to take them off, so took them off. Never had any issues after that, but that was when he had his Envoy. He had an 05 GMC Envoy, and that truck was bad. It had MagnaFlow dual exhaust. It had K&N air filter system. It had a Jeg Stage 2 tune on it. It was lowered 2 inches in the rear and an inch in the front, so it was more level and sat lower. The wheels were plasticked up black. Had a spoiler from a Trailblazer SS on it. What else? It had all kinds of shit. But it didn't have a V8. It did not have the 5.3 V8. It had the 4.2 liter set cruise control real quick. It had the 4.2 liter inline six, the straight six. So from the factory it was like 290-ish horsepower, but it produced like 330 pound-foot of torque, 350. I actually don't remember. But with the Jegs tune, the MagnaFlow exhaust, and the air intake, it was probably pushing damn near 300 horsepower and like 450 pound-foot of torque. Because in your cars, the easiest way to put it, horsepower and torque. Your torque is your acceleration, your pull. Your horsepower is your top end, so top speed. Like my Grand Prix GTP, because it's supercharged, it doesn't produce a lot of horsepower. From the factory, before all the mods I've done to mine, it produces 240 horsepower, but from the factory it also produces 280 pound-foot of torque. So once you do, I've got an air intake kit, a muffler delete, resonator delete, soon to be a cat delete. It's going to be straight piped all the way back, which is going to be even louder than it already is. But it's probably pushing 260 horsepower.
Take the right turn ahead. And
probably 300 pound-foot of torque, at least. Because the thing does 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. 5.5 seconds is the fastest 0 to 60 time I have for it. Right. Which is insanely quick for a 22-year-old car with literally 217,000 miles on it. Now, the motor doesn't have 217,000 miles on it. The motor is a replacement motor with about 150-ish. I saw a weird reflection in my glasses. It literally has... So, the motor and transmission only have about 250,000 miles on it. They were pulled out of a wrecked car right before I bought it. And that's... I totally forgot what I was saying. With that, since the car body has 217,000 miles on it, which for the age of the car, look at the horse. For the age of the car, sorry. The age of the car, it definitely gets up and moves. Okay. Oh shit, we've been driving the whole time. No wait, I rolled the windows up. Let's put the window down, so we can actually legitly look out the window and not have too much of a sound change. Put her in reverse. You're gonna hear my wheel probably. I think I want to go this way. Yep, this way. I know I'm good on that side, so I'm not too worried about that. This should be fairly straightforward. Start straightening her out. Actually, we want a little bit more rotation, I think. Now we should be able to straighten her out. I'm probably going to pull forward unless I can wiggle it. Is that a term that truckers use? Oh shit, there's a barn door on that side. Okay, I'm good on the barn door, but I'm just gonna go ahead and pull forward. I need to go more this way, so that should do her if we pull her straight ahead. That should do her. Alright. Straight on back. I'm actually gonna go a little bit more to the left here. Now if I crank her that way. There we go. Perfect. Go ahead and roll the window up before I forget about it. Okay, go ahead and get out here. Look at it. Yeah, I did pretty good. And it didn't take me 45 minutes to back in the trailer, so I can't complain. Let's go ahead and we're gonna shut off the engine. Oh, put it in the parking brake too. That'd be bad. And go ahead and unload the big ass container off my truck or my trailer. Okay, it took us 8 hours, 402 miles, consumed 61 gallons of fuel. That's a lot of fuel. Now, I don't look at any of this shit because this is a modded profile just because of all the modded trucks I use and all that. I don't think I think when I bought the game, I just downloaded a modded profile. Okay, so trailer's clean. Oh, I forgot to mention this. We have an air horn. That's gonna be obnoxiously loud to deal with in editing. I'm gonna forget about it. It's gonna scare the shit out of me. Let's see. How'd we do in time? In real life? 47 minutes. And I started 10 minutes after I started that timer because I actually started the timer just in case I had to split episodes. So I could keep an eye on time. So under 40 minutes? That's not bad at all. So anyway, talked about lots of shit, got distracted, almost wrecked into a collapsed in half semi. Pretty much sums up me and American Truck Sim. Anyway, don't think there's anything else I want to say. No, I don't have anything else on my list, so I talked about everything. Now I have to find new stories and shit to talk about because I don't know what else to talk about in American Truck Sim. It's really just kind of, if you don't talk about random stories and shit that happens to you in real life, it's kind of boring. Hell, this might be boring. I don't know. I'm rambling now. Anyway, if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you in the next one.